Do we really know what money is and what it means in our life? Now, I've been dealing with money, trying to deal with it consciously for the last 30 years because I've been dealing in the financial industry. However, what are our first memories of money? The first memory that I have is my Uncle Saul giving me this $20 bill, and everybody was like laughing. But I couldn't eat it, I couldn't do anything with it, I had no idea what it was. So when I got into the financial industry, I became very interested in actually finding a way to define it. And I quickly discovered that money and currency are two different things. What do I mean by that? Well, money is something that stores our wealth, that creates opportunity, that can grow. Currency is something that deflates. What do I mean by that? If you took $100 and you sat on a bench, just sat there for 20 years, according to inflation for the last 50 years, that purchasing power, what that $100 could buy, would be half. So it definitely is not a store of wealth. So money is something that can store our wealth and increase our purchasing power. So what is currency? It is something that causes us to create relationships, to create a medium of exchange. I go into a convenience store and that creates a relationship that I did not have with that other person, so it allows me to do it. So I've done all my searching, and I want to share with you that I've come to the understanding for myself what money can actually be understood by understanding 7 principles. And I'd like to just spend a few minutes to go quickly through those principles. So principle 1 is do what you love. Because since money is not real, or it's something that we trade our life energy for, and what I mean by that, you've heard the statement, time is money. It's not money, it's time. Because what it is what we trade our life energy for, and this is what we get, and we should not put a limit on it if that's what's important to us. So do what you love, and you will find a way that people will compensate you, because that is how people make money. You provide a good service, and people will compensate you. So if you're not doing something that you love, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you are stealing from the most valuable asset, which is your time. Remember, time is money. That's the one thing that's finite for every single one of us. That's 1. 2, principle 2, there's laws that guide money. There's the laws of the tax codes, there's accounting, there's investing. These are things that we can learn. There's other things that we have to understand as well. First of all, most of the dollars that we have, the paper dollars, the zeros and ones, they're called fiat currency. What that is it's not really anything. The government can just print it. We're going to be talking about fractional banking in a minute, and we're going to get more into fiat currency. But let's talk about capitalism. That happens to be one of the laws. That is the greatest democracy. If it happens to be real capitalism, that means I provide a service that you want, and you will come to me and I will be rewarded in currency and money. So that's what capitalism is. So quickly, if I open up a store and I create a great service, you come and patron me and I make money. There's no coercion there. You do it willingly, and I provide you a service and I'm rewarded with money. Number 2, most people don't know what GDP is. GDP is all the transactions that happen in a society. You know what the problem with GDP is? GDP also will take in crime, divorce, everything else. It doesn't include volunteering or protecting the environment, so it's very strange. So for example, if a nuclear plant blew up and there were a lot of funerals and things of that nature, guess what? The GDP would go up. I remember the first time I learned about that is there was an accident that happened in Alaska where there was an oil spill, and it added several $1 billion to the economy just to clean up. What did that do to the environment? So there's a problem with GDP. Number 3, something that most of you don't know, is money is created out of nothing. There's something called the fractional banking system. So what that really is if, let's say, the government produces $1 trillion. They say we're going to go and print $1 trillion. What's going to happen is that money has to be deposited somewhere. So it goes into the bank. And the government only requires that a certain percentage, let's in our example say 10%, has to stay at the bank. That means they can lend out $900 billion. So by the time that money gets deposited in another institution, so by the time that money is transacted and divided, there's possibly $100 trillion that have been created in the money supply. Isn't that crazy? It's created out of nowhere. So there's laws of money and you have to know them, and the only thing that restricts you happens to be your creativity, because if you learn how to play the piano, you can write your own music. And that is something why I shared that with you about the laws of money. So go ahead and understand accounting, investing, and also the tax code, and also what is the basis of money. So, number 3, money is an illusion. What do I mean by that? Well, have you ever worked towards something and you got it and you're really not satisfied with it? So just remember, the experience is much more important than actually obtaining something. Money is also a horror show. Yeah, it can be a nightmare, because once you get money, you have responsibilities. Accounting, paying taxes, hiring accountants, things of that nature. And many people aren't prepared for that. There's no such thing as giving a gift. That happens to be one of the principles. Because what you're doing is you are creating a relationship with other human beings, and you are creating obligations. What do I mean by that? Have you ever given to a charity, to someone, and they keep on knocking on your door? So there's no such thing as a gift. The inverse of that, the following principle, is there's no such thing as receiving a gift, because it's obligations. When you give, you're creating a relationship and creating obligations, and when you are receiving a gift, you're also creating obligations. So just remember that. And last, the final principle is there's things that are beyond money. A parent's love to a child. Something that you love doing. Your commitment to your community. You want to be successful in life? Find those things that money, there are no price tags. And I'm going to share this with you. Find people who see you, not your price tag, and you will have a good life. Thank you for letting me share these thoughts with you. And if we're not friends, please follow me. If you like this video, press thumbs up. Look at that, thumbs up. Make a comment and share. I look forward to exploring more with you, because life would not be worthwhile if we didn't have people to share with. And I would love to share with you. So instead of just watching this video, raise your hand and share with me what you think. Have a wonderful day, and I'm hoping that May, June gloom, which they call in La Jolla, disappears, because can you imagine, it's beautiful out here, but I haven't seen the sun in the longest time. However, my eyes are very sensitive, so I've damaged them. I have to wear glasses. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to catching up with you later on.